Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ash, aka Ash_Marceline here on YouTube and everywhere else on my socials. I made a realization, because you know I'm doing Project Use It Up at the moment. I just opened up my last few serums to use up for the rest of the month of August, and also to, you know, continue using in September. So I'm like, well, dang, I must have gone through so many of them already. So I decided to do a restock. So while I am doing Project Use It Up, that is not going to prevent me from restocking on things that have run out. And now that I've opened up my last few serums, I did a restock. So not gonna restock anything until I either have opened up the last of what that category has, or it just is gone completely if I am not paying attention. So that's what we're working with today. I went to two different places. I went to TJ Maxx and I went to Ulta. Now I go to TJ Maxx because they have cheaper options, and they also have more Korean skincare somehow. So we can start there to begin with. Let's see. I picked up 3. Now, if any of you are familiar with Korean skincare, you would be familiar with Skin 1004. I guess that the number has something, it's like an angel number or something like that. I didn't really do too much research into this, but I've heard of the brand a lot. I've also used their serums in my rotation at the moment. I have their brightening serum, and then I have their intensive Cica ampule, which ampule in Korea is pretty much on the par with a serum. Now I don't know where I was going with that, but it's on par with the serum. So ampule equals serum, if that makes any sense. So we can start with that. I picked up the Skin 104 Poremizing Fresh Ampoule, which it comes in this very, very unique looking box. And this is the 100 mLs bottle, which is the same size as my brightening serum, which is right here. So it's the same size as this. Now the other serum that I have is 50 ml, so that's half the size. So they do take a while to use up. I think I've been using the brightening one for like 3 months now, so it does take a while to use up. The next one is also 100 mils. This is the Centella ampule, which is not to be confused with the intensive Cica. Not to be confused for the Probio Cica intensive. So this is the Probio Cica intensive, and then you have just the regular Centella ampule. Now Centella is very known for like its soothing properties, which like my skin tends to get like irritated, especially when I dermaplane my face and like shave off all those baby hairs. Tends to leave my skin very, very irritable, and I have to basically cut back on my layering of my skincare. Now, moving on from that, Cica is very good for that. So Centella Asiatica is also called Cica, if that makes any sense. They have to make a nickname for it, I guess. I don't know. Now the next one is from Bubble. I've never used this brand before. It is their Moonwalk Gentle Exfoliating Serum. I like how this is kind of in the realm of affordable, but it's also kind of geared towards more younger generations, younger crowds, like teenagers, young adults, that sort of thing. But if you're not familiar with how to do your skincare, even as like an older adult, like in your 30s, 40s, blah, 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 because back back then, you know, that this wasn't as big of a deal, you know, as it is now. So it is nice to see how they have this labeled as step 1, step 2, yada yada yada. So that makes it a little easier if this is something that's brand new for you that you're getting into. So this is a step 2 treat, so it's a treatment. And then on the side of the box it has, you know, steps for a routine. You have your number 1 is cleanse, you have 2 being treatment, aka your serum, 3 moisturize, and then 4 protect, which is your sunscreen, which is very big nowadays. It used to not be like that. I remember when I was a teenager in like early 20s, it was not like, yeah, you wanted to use sunscreen, but it wasn't like you used sunscreen when you went out in the sun. It wasn't like a daily thing. But now it's like people are starting to use it as a daily thing. Sorry, I'm waffling. I tend to do that a lot. So that was TJ Maxx. Oh my god, my brain goes a mile a minute and it just cannot, my mouth can't keep up with it. So the next place I went to was Ulta. Now, some of the things are cheap, some of the things are not cheap. We'll kind of go into that a little bit. All right, I have separated everything out. We will start with, I'm gonna start with the most expensive, I guess you could say. Tatcha being the expensive brand. How do I put this? This is based off of like Japanese skincare, I want to say, and I want to say it's like based, like rice based. But I did not want to buy the full container. Years ago, I didn't want to buy the full containers because they're not cheap. So I saw this and I was like, oh, that would be a good idea to like try new things. And I've wanted to try this brand for a while, so I was like, might as well. This was $49. Now, if I were to buy the sample, the minis separately, it would probably cost me about $100. Let's just be real there. So this contains, and plus this is great for travel too, you know. This contains the rice wash, the water cream, the dewy skin cream, and then the Kisu lip mask. So it comes with minis of these 4 items, which I mean that's a great bang for your buck. Now, if I hadn't tried these in the past and just wanted a mini, buy the mini separately. But I've never tried this brand. I don't even know if it'll work for my skin. So I don't want to invest the money into something I've never tried and that's pricey, and then it not work out for my skin, and then I'm stuck with this full-size thing, pot, tube, whatever, and having to either try to give it away to somebody or just force myself to use it even though I don't like it, if that makes sense. Like I did with the that snail mucin cream that I couldn't finish, that like, yeah, it just did not work for me. Moving on. Since that serum from Skin 104 is my last brightening serum that I have, I wanted to try something different, and I saw this. I've seen it online, I've seen it in YouTube commercials, I've seen it pretty much everywhere. It is the e.l.f. Skin Bright Icon Vitamin C and E Ferulic Serum. It's got 15% vitamin C, 1% vitamin E, which vitamin E is very good for healing like scarring and stuff like that. And then it has 0.5% ferulic acid. I'll have to do some research about that, but this is what the packaging looks like. It comes with like a little pump at the top instead of this doohickey where you have to like squeeze it. It gives you negative pressure, and that's how that comes up the pipette. So yeah, I wanted to try a different form of vitamin C. So e.l.f. is a very affordable option, and I've actually seen a drastic improvement over the last, what, 15 years of how they've formulated their, not only their makeup, but now they've come out with skincare stuff, and everybody seems to really like it. So I hope this works out for me. I think it will. I like their their dewdrop like primer, their makeup primer, so that's really good. I think I have a few other things by e.l.f. I know I have a lot of makeup brushes by them because they're cheap as hell and they work perfectly fine. So next, it's kind of boring packaging in my opinion, is The Ordinary. I got 3 different things from them. 3 different things. I am down to my last retinol serum, so I picked up the Ordinary Retinol 0.5% in squalene. This is what the packaging looks like. A lot of this stuff will have like tape or something on it, and I do appreciate how this doesn't, but it does, the lid still doesn't like to come open. So this is their bottle packaging. Simple, easy. How many mils is this? 30 mls. Okay. So that's roughly like pretty typical for like a serum is like 30 mls, except for maybe Centella, the Skin 104 that does 50 and 100. But for retinol, I think that's pretty typical. Now the current one that I'm using is by Some By Me. I think that's what it's called, the brand, and it is 0.2% retinol. With retinol, you want to start like low percentage concentration. If you went the opposite direction and started with intensive, your skin would be very, very angry, very, very pissed off. You always want to build up your tolerance to this stuff. Same thing with like VT's Real shots. You never want to go for the 1,000 thinking it'll just magically make everything better. That's not how this works. So yeah, always start with a small percentage and build up over time. And I also don't use this like every single day. I mean, you could. I think I've seen other people do that. Now with retinol, you do have what's called a purging period where like your skin breaks out intensively. Like this is like for anti-aging. That's pretty much all I know about that. It's like resurfacing. Do I know what I'm talking about? Maybe, maybe not. Do your own do your research. So next is, I think all of this was in the anti-aging category. I have this multi-peptide and HA serum. I've never heard of this before, so I will have to do some more research on this, but I know peptides are good for your skin. I just am not familiar with this specific, the ones that are in here very much. Have to check those out, but I thought it'd be good. Something else, I think this Matrixyl 10%, I think HA is hyaluronic acid. Let me know if anybody's like very familiar with the Ordinary brand and knows what the heck. Oh, did I get 2 different peptide formulations? I think I did. Multi-peptide and then Matrixyl. Matrixyl must be a peptide then, because both boxes say peptide. Matrixyl is a next generation Matrixyl. What the fuck does that mean? Okay, so the multi-peptide does contain Matrixyl, but it's Synthy 6. And then Matrixyl 3000. So this is 10%. Okay. Okay. I might put something in the description box. I don't know. Also, a little bit of distraction. Here's my puppy. He's like, Mama, what's happening? What's happening, Mom? He likes to sit on my lap whenever I'm doing stuff. And I just have to show you how cute he is. Look, Look how cute he is. He is just a baby. Okay, moving on. What? Hello? Hi. Are you jealous? Are you jealous? Are you jealous that your brother's getting attention and you're over here? I'm sorry. When you have dogs. Alright, last brand, and then this will be the end of our time together. You know, y'all know I include my dogs in literally everything I do, so is it a surprise that they're going to be snooting and snorting in the background? No. Next brand is Bioma. I've purchased several things by them in the past. The last serum I bought from them was a brightening serum. Let me fix this angle here. It was a brightening serum, so I got another one. Well, all of them are serums. What the hell am I doing? What are you talking about, girl? So this one is their clarifying serum. It has triceramide complex, blue tansy, PHA, and zinc. So that is what this looks like. Comes in like a mint green bottle. And the next one that I got is their Phytomucin Glow Serum. Also has triceramide complex, but this has phytomucin, panthenol, and peptides instead of the other one, which is more for clarifying. This one, I want to say, is more for hydration and plumping. Yeah, that's exactly what it says on the packaging. And then the last thing is a barrier repair treatment, which has barrier lipids, avocado oil, ectoin, and squalene. So, repair and rebuild. So, when your skin barrier is damaged, there's a hair there. When your skin barrier is damaged, you'll get like breakouts and redness and dry patches, and overall your skin will feel like tight and irritable, maybe itchy. That would also be something that could happen. But especially when I get irritated with dermaplaning, this would be a good option for me to use to try to help repair that skin barrier. Now, whenever your skin barrier is affected and like broken, you definitely want to simplify your routine. Like, you want to do your typical cleansing routine with your oil cleanser for your makeup or sunscreen, and then your regular cleanser, following up with a toner, sometimes a serum, maybe like a repairing serum or like a Cica serum, something that's like soothing. Sometimes not. Sometimes not. Sometimes all you need is to layer your toner and then follow up with a moisturizer. But definitely simplify your routine when your skin barrier is broken, and then stick with it until it is repaired, until you feel better. I've had to do that maybe once, maybe twice, because I would either get sunburnt really bad, or I would dermaplane and then try to follow up with other things, which is not a good idea. You should really simplify your routine when it comes to dermaplaning, especially if you have very sensitive skin with that. So that is the video. Thank you so much for watching. I just wanted to share this with y'all because apparently I share everything now. Again, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe down below. It really helps the channel out, and hit that notification bell. Hit the notification bell wherever it's at to be notified of when I post next. Thank you so much for watching. I love y'all, and I hope you have a good rest of your week, and that your weekend is magical and beautiful, and I hope that it is sunny again, because we did get some rain, which we definitely needed, and I'm talking and waffling again. So love you all. Bye. Love you. Bye 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 bye.